Hey everyone, welcome to the channel Crystal Heart and also the channel Mystery Mugs and Melanin. I'm Crystal and this is
Celine.
and I may have started talking before we actually went live, but it's okay. We're here now. Um Tonight is our Wednesday evening live where we talk about true crime cases. Mostly, not all of them are going to be popular cases, but most of them are things that we grab from different media outlets. I'm not sure if anyone is in here yet. If you are, say hello. And I also did put a pinned comment to the top that says that we ask everyone to remain respectful to the victims and their families during the live, and also in the comment section. In that, we forgot to say that last time, but that's just always. Even though my channel is small, um, Mystery Mugs and Melon is a small channel, we still have family members of victims in our comment section on Mystery Mugs and Melanin. So we always want to just be conscious that they can be Googling or searching on YouTube for their family members' names and seeing these videos pop up. Hey
Yeah.
Tamika, hey Sheila, what are y'all up to?
Do I
And
have
do
enough light?
you're kind of in the shadows.
As usual. Okay, I'll call it be right back.
You
You
want
know,
to put a light on?
yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. I got my snack ready. Eating some sushi and then randomly some chips. What are y'all having for dinner? I don't know why that's like a question that I always ask on lives. What are y'all eating for dinner? What are
Excuse me.
you eating?
For me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm not really.
You
I
not
don't.
hungry?
Mm-mm. Now, Carnell went to McDonald's and he was like, "Mommy, I'm gonna get you something," and I was like, I thought that I could eat. I was just like, "Just give me a medium fry," and I couldn't even finish it.
From where?
McDonald's.
And when them get cold, that's a wrap.
But
Hey,
they,
Aisha.
hi Aisha.
Why is your camera flickering? Let me
My
see if it does it again. It's like you flicker.
Is it still flickering?
It's not like constant. It was just, but I'm trying to get my head in the right space, but my son is currently straining on the side of the road. Oh no! Where at Sheila? Somewhere where can a Uber get to him? Paparazzi. I saw a fly. Um, I
Yeah.
guess we kind of just gonna hang around see if anybody else comes in before we get really started.
Yeah,
You
like
got the list?
I have a list. I have concepts of a list.
Um,
She
what
said
does that mean?
she's waiting to be told.
Oh
Yeah,
man, y'all got bad luck with cars, Sheila. Now, what you said, a concept of a list?
I have my list. And I have like some notes and stuff, but did you did you already do add everyone?
I couldn't because I used it earlier. I meant to ask you.
I have concept of a list, but we had such a huge list that we made last time, so we need to downsize a little bit.
Well, when I texted you earlier, I narrowed it down to three and a possible four, right?
So that puts Ray Rivera,
Mm-hmm.
Lois Reese,
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Bobby,
Mm-hmm.
and then possibly Alonzo Brooks.
Yeah. Sweet Bobby, I feel like we could let loose and just talk because It's a light. It's not a light-hearted case. Like it still was a serious
It's
thing,
weird.
but it was weird and it wasn't murder. So I mean, it's not like so heavy.
Yeah.
It is dark. You watched it, Sheila, sweet Bobby?
No, it's dark. He's getting told, but it's dark though.
Oh, it's dark outside. Oh, oh yeah. Is he sitting in the vehicle with the doors locked?
You're frozen.
I froze already, but am I still frozen?
Yeah.
Hold on, because there's like things in front of the router. I'm gonna go move it. Like I don't know why it's like this when I get on live, because like the internet works perfect. Hold on.
Kobe, come here. Kobe, come here.
Am I unfrozen?
No.
I'm not.
I sent you a picture of how you look frozen too because
Oh man. Let me know if I unfreeze. Or I'm gonna go out, come back in.
how is the Lincoln lawyer, Sheila? I haven't it's on my list as a possible, but I haven't really started it.
Am I back?
You're back but still frozen.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're back.
Okay. If I freeze, then I guess I'm just gonna be frozen. I didn't get to watch that yet. Got stuck on Lincoln Lawyer. Okay, I just heard y'all saying something. What is Lincoln Lawyer?
It's a TV show, it's a scripted show.
Um,
I just had to
okay.
yell at Cornell to close his door because I'm on live.
Oh, the girl. Cameron had volleyball practice, but Kamani stayed, but she's been quiet. And Saint, I put in his crate because he was trying to get to the sushi.
Cornell closed his door, but Kobe just went in there and opened it. She gonna go back in there.
Okay, where is Rebecca? Because she had homework. Did she do her homework?
I don't know if she did her homework.
Let me text her. Sheila might have already texted her.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa. All right. Who are we? We're starting with Ray.
I guess we should start with Ray. Although I really wanted to know Rebecca's take on
Okay.
Ray.
Me too. I just texted her.
We're good, Vanessa. How are you?
Doing good on this end. All right. Sheila, did you watch Lois Reese? Um, what's the name of it? I'm not a monster.
Yeah. So did we already talk about how I figured out that I had heard about the case from Paula Zahn on the second episode?
Oh, here's Rebecca. Yeah, you did tell me that. We said that in last week too. That's how you realize. She said, "Don't start with Ray." We gonna circle back around to Ray. Got all my laundry done and saw that you two were on. Hey,
Well, at least somebody getting something done. Because Vanessa, I need to do laundry too.
so do I.
Why, Rebecca? Are you watching Ray right now?
Not Rebecca trying to. do her homework last minute.
Okay, let's start with Lois Reese then. Does any the what was the
I am not a monster.
I'm not a monster? Okay. No, that's not. Is it?
Hmm.
But she's known as Killer Grandma.
Hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, the show on Netflix is called I'm Not a Monster. But Celine also saw an episode on
It's not
Lois Reese.
on Max.
It's on Max. Okay, on Max. Sorry, Sweet Bobby was on Netflix.
Hmm.
And then Celine, they got a fly in here. Celine also saw an episode on Paula Zahn on Lois Reese. I'm sure I saw the episode, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, the only so
Vanessa, there's never empty hampers
never, never.
ever.
So Lois Reese basically, I don't even know where to start with her.
Okay, so if y'all never heard of the Lois Reese case, basically she was just a lady living a normal life with her husband, very much a people pleaser, and just did everything for everyone. And then one day she killed her husband.
Hmm.
Um, randomly killed her husband and kept the body in the house
With her
with her
for
for like a week or something.
yeah, something like that. And he was in the bathroom, dead. It was cold, and so that she opened the bathroom window, but she like lived in the house with his body.
Yeah, and then I guess eventually she probably couldn't do it anymore, so she left and ran, and they found the body, but she had done ran, and she had took all the money out the accounts. She was
Like
gone.
I want to say like $11,000 or something. She cashed it because he owned a business, and she cashed a check.
She was cashing checks, do check fraud.
Yeah,
And then she went to she was in Louisiana for a while. I believe she
like a
was in
casino.
Louisiana,
Yeah,
and then she was out in South Padre Island, which is Texas, and just living it up. She went to Miami, um, and she also killed another woman.
she killed the woman. Kind of resembled her, and she met the woman. She met the so when she ran, she ended up going to it. Was it Miami? It was in South Florida,
I think it was Miami.
Myers,
Oh, Fort Myers.
Beach, and so she actually went to. This is how I don't even think she was thinking. She actually went to one of their friends who lived in. Where were they from again? Where was it? It
I
was
think this was in Fort Myers
yeah, but
because they used to.
where were they from?
Oh,
Where they lived?
I don't remember. Was it somewhere like Tennessee, Kentucky? I don't
Minnesota.
remember. Minnesota.
Minnesota. So they lived up north, and then so she drove down to Florida, Fort Myers, and she pulled up into one of their old neighbors from Minnesota who have like owned property in Fort Myers, and she was already it was already all over the town and stuff that she had killed her husband, and so she pulled in. She's like, "Oh, I have the wrong address," and she left. And so the lady told her husband, and they called the police, but the police in Minnesota hadn't put her down as like a
A
suspect.
suspect.
They had her as a person of interest in her husband's murder. So
But
they
they did have a warrant out for her for check fraud.
fraud. She transferred $11,000 from her husband's business account with a check before she left, and so that they
Hmm.
had her for that. But the police in Fort Myers was like, "This is not really serious enough for us to go hunting for her."
Yeah. So after the neighbor saw her, the police didn't do anything. She was partying, and she met a woman in a bar. I think it was a bar.
Restaurant.
She she met a woman who kind of resembled her a little bit, and the woman was like on a solo vacation to a timeshare or whatever.
Mhm.
And the woman was like, "Oh, you can come stay with me in my condo, and whatever, whatever." Well, she killed the woman in the condo and then took the woman's car and left.
in the bathroom and left her in the bathroom and
Same way she
stayed
did her husband.
and slept in the guest room overnight while the lady's body was in the bathroom, and then she
Yeah,
left.
and then she took a bunch of random stuff of the woman from the woman, and then took her car and shot out.
It
And
was
yes, she is
money.
still playing the victim, Sheila.
Yeah, and she took money from her too to go gamble.
Yeah, because she was a gambler. I didn't like the way the documentary made it like her being a gambler is why she did all this. They didn't say that, but they kept going back to gamblers do this, and I'm like, this don't have nothing to do with maybe having a certain personality type makes her a gambler and made her impulsive, but I don't think it had one didn't have anything to do with the other.
My personal opinion with them talking about the gamblers because of all of the money issues. Because remember, she was taking care of her sister and she stole from her sister. She stole
Yeah, she
money and
did.
she just kept everything was like about money to me and to support her gambling habit. And
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, it's not a excuse to kill her husband or whatever,
I
but
mean, I don't feel like that's why she killed him. You think she killed him for money?
yes,
You
I,
do?
not for money. I just think that I
I think she.
I think they kept talking about like how mental illness runs in the family and everything. I think that something happened that we don't know about because we don't have his side of the story. She said that he took out the gun, a gun, and was like, "Here, kill yourself, do it right this time." And so she took the gun and shot him.
That don't make sense.
It doesn't. If somebody did that and gave me a gun, I'm running away. I'm not.
Yeah, like I'm taking the gun and I'm leaving. But I don't know. Her stories didn't make sense. I think that mental illness is a thing for her because she distorts it all. And I mean, I don't know.
She. I feel like she's using the mental illness a lot to excuse what she did. But at the end of the day, you killed two people pretty much in the same manner, did the exact same thing, hit them in the bathroom, slept in the place where you murdered them, took their money, and ran.
Yeah. And her saying, "Oh, the husband told her about kill yourself with the gun." Okay, if you using that as your reason for killing him, well, what's your reason for killing the woman? Because she didn't do that.
And like I do believe like her gambling, I do believe money had a big issue with it because I'm not saying like it was the excuse, but like after she forged his name on like those checks for like $11,000, she went to the casino in
I
Iowa.
mean, she definitely had a problem.
Yeah,
I think I don't know if money is the reason why she killed, but I think she was an opportunist and took the money when she could. Because I feel like she could have stole money from her husband, or maybe he confronted her about stealing previously.
maybe so. That is something to think about too.
I don't know, but she,
But
but
this,
and then she pretends that she don't even remember killing the woman.
yeah, that what really got to me too. It's like she kind of like glazed over it. Like, she was nice to me, and I just blacked out. I don't remember. Oh, no, you did the exact same thing you did to your husband. Like, it's
Hmm.
a pattern.
And she didn't barely talk about that. She talked about her husband a lot.
She talks about herself a lot. She comes off like very narcissistic, and then I do believe that she probably did help, help everybody, but like give help out everybody. But it seems like she did it thinking that she would get something in return. Excuse me, I'm getting sick. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But and the weird thing is, nobody had anything bad to say about her.
Not really.
Like even the guy who was friends with, I think her husband's name was Dave. The guy who was friends with Dave, he even said like, I liked her too. Like it was like
Character, but that was
yeah.
Lois. That's it.
But also, a lot of narcissists have people fooled and people love them. They just have their one person that they abuse on the cool.
She did make it seem like he was abusive, her husband, and that was, some of the issue with it. But like, I just find it weird that I know one of her sons died. I think he killed himself, but like none of her other children came forward to substantiate her claims of abuse.
Right.
It was like it was in the house for many, many years. And even though no one had anything negative to say, even the ones who were talking nice, like her nieces and people, within the family, they said that they never really saw. Well, one of them kind of says she saw. I don't know, just like he talked to her or whatever, but no one ever saw like really any type of abuse.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
one of the ladies, she just was like she was gonna ride for her Lois no matter what. And I'm like, okay, at this point, I can't even listen to nothing you're saying because you sound like you on her side no matter what she do. Hi, Tracy. So, did anyone else watch this documentary? I know Sheila did. We're where we supposed to be wearing green? It
no,
was an accident.
it was a happy accident.
Yeah,
Yeah, she also stole her sister's money, a lot of it too. And then like, I,
yeah. That I couldn't. Like, your sister is disabled, and you're stealing her money and paying yourself, and then trying to pretend like you have to pay yourself for this and that. And then when they ask her about it, she like talks in circles.
she talked in circles and made it seem like it wasn't that. She's like, yeah, I talked to Lori and I wasn't doing it right, but I still could pay myself. Overall, I think she owed her sister like over $100,000. And then wasn't it crazy when her dad died and left a percentage of his estate, and she only got like what 15%?
That's and that's why she took from her sister. She was upset that she didn't get as much money as everybody else, even though she took care of her dad. So then when she took care of her sister, she started taking. So I mean,
She paid her kids from the money. She would take money. She would go to the casino and like cash out $3,000 from her sister's money to gamble.
yeah, that's crazy. Wear green for what? Sorry, my daughter called, so I might have missed something. No, she's just saying that because me and Celine both have on green. Yeah, she was very much fraud. I don't know. It was a crazy little case, and she was a crazy little woman. And then she gonna say she pleaded guilty because she didn't want to live in a mental institution like her mom. You pleaded guilty because you did it.
She definitely did it. I did feel like she was looking for like sympathy in her interview and everything. And I mean, I don't know. I just, but again, once we got to the second episode, when they started talking about, uh, I can't remember the lady's name that she killed. I want to,
Was it Karen?
I have to look it up now because
Renee?
I need to know.
Yeah, look it up.
Pamela Hutchinson.
What was it?
Pamela.
Girl, where did I get Karen and Renee?
I don't know. But yeah, it was
Pamela, you're right.
Hutchinson. And she was the topic of the Paula Zahn episode. So they was talking about her and talking to her family. So that's why I didn't put it together. And they kind of went over how she had, killed her husband, but he wasn't the topic of the story. But she was a nice lady and she befriended her and was like, she Lois was like, I just lost my husband and this and that. And so the lady felt sorry for her and they talked and she invited her to stay. And there's
Hmm.
footage because there's a camera outside of her condo, and They walked in together. They're laughing. They're bringing in her stuff, and then at one point, Lois exits the condo by herself, and she's like crying over the
Yeah, she look all nervous and stuff.
and then she just gets her. She goes back in, gets her stuff, and leaves in Pamela's car.
She had some serious issues. And then when she went out to was it South Padre Island?
Yeah,
Whenever she was like flirting with the guy or whatever, and the guy and was it? Did they come get her in South Padre Island?
one of the men at like one of the bars, he recognized her because he had watched the news that morning, and he recognized her and was like, "I know her." He called the police, and they came get her from the restaurant. Hey,
So
lady.
Katie's. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Katie said, "Hey, ladies, gonna listen, but just got a procedure done at the doctor, so little loopy. And if I fall asleep, sorry if I don't come in." Oh, hey, Katie. I hope you're feeling okay and that you get better.
Sheila,
Don't
I
go.
do think she wanted her lifestyle to be more than what it was. I agree with that too. And the woman in Texas did get lucky because I feel like after her money would have ran out, she would have went after
Yeah,
the woman.
yeah. Because she was like the gambling, crazy.
She went to Kashada in Louisiana.
I saw it. I'm like, my mama is always at Kashada.
Yeah, my grandma used to go to Kashada. They used to take me to like the little kids area when we go to Kashada, and I would be in there. Like I
That's
went.
my mama favorite casino is Kashada. We all need a friend like that old friend she had. Is that the friend who
Oh yeah, her
had her back
friend, the one who was cutting the apples and stuff. It was like she was gonna be her friend.
no matter what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You gonna ride for me no matter what
Always,
I do?
always.
Look, I don't care what you believe in your head, but on the outside, just be like, she didn't do it.
Always. I'm gonna be like, what? Murder?
Never. She was such a good woman.
He wouldn't even harm a fly.
Yeah, everybody need a friend like that. I get. Well, that friend is just the Lulu.
I think she just was like, they've been friends for a long time. She's in jail. It is what it is. I mean, I would come visit you, put some money on your commissary.
Just put money. You ain't got to come.
Wow. Well, I want to be the one to do the documentary.
Oh, you gonna come interview me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it to Netflix.
Okay, just send my cut to my commissary, please.
Nah.
Uh,
I'm keep putting what I usually put on your commissary. You can't. You're not gonna know how to behave in prison with all that money on
I
your
gotta buy
commissary.
my people. I gotta buy my crew.
You're right.
Everybody ramen on me.
Yes, I can write the tell-all book.
I need my cut from that too. How am I be a boss in prison if I'm broke? Nobody gonna listen to me.
Ma'am, you're supposed to be innocent.
When you're in prison, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You're right.
I gotta have my crew.
Where you want to move to next?
I don't know where Rebecca is, but she went disappear before we talk about Ray. Ray. Um, who we had?
Sweet Bobby.
Sweet Bobby. Did anybody watch Sweet Bobby? Cause look, my heart was broken for this woman, but I also thought she was being a little dumb over the years.
She missed so many red flags. So Sweet Bobby is a documentary. It's basically I don't even know what to say. It's um
Catfish.
a catfish nightmare, a catfish to the 10th power.
Neve would have had a field day with this one, but What was her name?
Her
Cut.
name. I took notes for
It
the
wasn't
live.
Katya. It was something
Hold
with
on,
a K.
hold on. I took notes for the live so I can remember everyone's name, and her name is.
Sheila say she didn't see that one. Well, Sheila, we about to spoil it. So,
I didn't write down her name. It's Kirat.
correct. It was something like that. I know it was a K. And let me look it up.
Okay, let me look. You know, I got my computer right here. Let me look it up. Okay, so no. Okay, Kirat. Her name is Kirat. She's a radio like DJ presenter in London.
Yeah.
I'm in bed already.
Just saw you were on. Hi, Sheila. No live tomorrow morning. We have conferences tomorrow that start at 8 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Ooh. All right. Get you some rest, Leanna. It's good to see you on, though. Um. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
So
if you want to go, go ahead.
it don't matter. You, I just be talking.
Well,
Um.
basically, Kirat is a woman from London, and she did like marketing, and also she was a DJ or whatever. But she started talking to this man. What I'm trying to think, because their community is small. Are they like South?
They are Indian, but I think Kenyan.
Chic, yeah, they're if the community in Kenya, yeah, so their community is very small. And so she started talking with this man named Bobby on Facebook, and because their families knew each other, like I said, the community is very small, so their families knew of each other. But and he
The
was
cousin dated Bobby's brother.
her cousin dated Bobby's brother, and he was like I feel like they kept trying to say he was like from a well-to-do family, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they asked her the first time that she met him, and she saw him in a club in Brighton, and she went up to him and was like, Bobby, and he didn't recognize her, but she was like, oh, he just maybe didn't recognize me. But this was before anything like really started.
Wait, she said, "What the heck? I'm drugged up and was winging out because I was the only one in the live, and you all are talking to the chat. I was on the other channels live." Oh, and that. Oh, so like each channel don't see what each person are saying on the other channels.
Can we see all the if there's another chat on?
Well, we had to because we saw Katie, and she was on Mystery Mugs and Melanin.
Oh, that's why they have the little icon.
That okay? I did see that little icon there. I didn't know what that meant.
Me
Okay, that's what that
either.
little meant. That meant.
Okay.
I was watching
Eventually,
you from way back. I just fast forward to present live. Oh, we got all kind of commotion going on in the live.
that's a little icon. Okay, so
Okay, okay. We're learning. We're learning.
you wanna take it up from there?
Where we're at, the you said Bobby was supposed to be like a well-to-do.
Hmm.
She was getting of age to get married whenever she met him, and marriage is like super important in their culture. And after you're like in your 20s, you should be starting a family. And they're being pushed to get married. Like apparently they mustn't not do arranged marriages because she never spoke about them trying to arrange her a marriage. But she met Bobby. They were just friends. She was dating other people. She was engaged for a while. He married somebody. He divorced them. Her engagement fell apart, and this is years of passing, and they're just Facebook friends and texting. I think she goes to the club in was it New York or was it London?
It was Brighton. It was in England.
Brighton.
But,
She was in
but
Brighton,
when she went to the club, this was before, like, this was like they had just been talking for like,
talking as friends and
but
stuff.
like not even years in the making. It was
Okay.
a few months.
So she goes to the club in Brighton and she sees Bobby, and Bobby's kind of drunk or whatever. So she goes to talk to him, and he's like all drunk, not really knowing who she is or whatever. So she didn't take. She just was like, oh, he's drinking, whatever, and moved on. They hadn't really built that close of a relationship at this point.
Yeah.
So she just moved on. She never mentioned it to him after that or whatnot. But she just figured he's drunk, whatever. So yeah, so they continue communicating back and forth over the years. They would stop talking, they would start talking. They each had relationships, they would go on. Eventually they both were newly single and decided, was did he get shot at first before they decided to be in a relationship?
Yeah, they were still just friends. He had got shot
Yeah.
somehow, and
Oh, and mind you, she's talking to his friends and family. Like, she's talking to all the people that know him.
I was wondering why you said Katie as I
Okay,
did.
yes, I did see it. Oh,
Yeah, it's fine. Either channel chat works. We can see all of it, but
see it all, and we're gonna read it. So, yeah. So eventually, he said he told her that he was shot at because he was targeted because of the prestige of his family. He was targeted in Kenya, and he had to be put
witness protection.
in America.
Yeah, he was in the hospital in New York, and he was hurt his vocal cords, and so like they wasn't talking, but they would like Skype and talk and chat on Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. And and like Crystal said,
But
that Saint.
that's Saint crying because he's in his crate.
And like Crystal said, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, his best friends were messaging her. His cousins, like they were in a group chat together.
Yeah.
And then some of his female cousins and stuff. She was just talking to everyone. They were like super close friends. And then finally, he's all like, "Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
Leanna.
Bobby Catfish story." And it started on a podcast. It was done on a podcast first, and then they turned it into a documentary for Netflix.
Mm.
And then so eventually he confesses his love for her and everything. And confesses his love for her and everything. And then so she talks to his friends and his cousins. She's like, he said he loved me. And remember, she thinks that he's in the hospital hurt and everything from being shot. And his friends and cousins, like, all he does is talk about you all the time. He loves you so much, blah 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 blah, blah. And she's like, oh. And then they end up becoming into a relationship, a long distance relationship.
No, Rebecca is Saint. That was a crazy. I just watched that and finished it yesterday. So good. Yeah, I watched it last night too. So basically, she's getting all this reassurance from his family and friends, her family. She talked to her mom about it. The mom was all down for it. Um, and they were in a relationship. But mind you, there was no FaceTiming. There was only talking on the phone, but he talked with a raspy voice because his vocal cords got messed up.
They were on Skype but no camera, and like they would fall asleep together on.
Yeah. Like, she literally missed her grandmother's staying with her grandmother while her grandmother was like dying, because she had to be on the phone with him every night. And so more of the story is, they she talked to Bobby for 8 years, 8 or 9 years.
About 9 years, almost 10 years. Yeah, they were engaged.
And
Oh wait, we can't even
he
skip over the part.
he would tell her he was coming to see her,
Yeah.
then he just wouldn't show. And at this one time he was like, okay, I'm coming to London. Was it London?
Yes, that's where she was.
And he got there, and he told her, oh, don't come see me yet, I need to get myself together, I need
Wait,
some time.
wait, before you go there, we have to go back a little bit because he told her, it's on Netflix, Rebecca. He told her that he had got back with his wife and he had a son now.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. He
And
he
he was,
didn't say he got back with the wife,
but
but
they had a
they
whatever
slept together like,
and had a baby, and
and
so
she was pregnant.
then they would, oh my gosh, y'all, this is the crazy thing, they would go online together and do shopping for baby clothes for the baby, and then he would post pictures on the Facebook, and the baby was wearing the clothes that they picked out together.
Picked out.
Yeah, it was like so weird.
Oh yeah, I've watched docs on that.
And then,
Yeah,
like she said, eventually he gets there and he's saying that he's at this hotel. She goes to the hotel and they're like, we can't, there's no one here. We can't really, Netflix called Sweet Bobby. Yeah.
yeah.
And we can't really, tell you anything. And then so he calls her. He's like, I can see you, and but I don't want to see you right now. I need time to get myself together. And like at this point, she's freaking out because she thinks that it's been like 9 years, and she thinks that they're supposed to get married. Her family knows they're supposed to be planning a wedding. It's just crazy.
And then so things started getting weird, and she decided, I'm gonna start investigating this because at this point it was just too much. You come to town and yet I still can't see you. So she hired a private investigator to get Bobby's address. He finds Bobby's address. So she goes over there and she's like, I'm gonna confront him. Why are you doing this or whatever? Get there, knocks on the door. Bobby opens the door. The Bobby that she's seen pictures of, Bobby, and his name is Bobby, and it's Bobby.
It's Bobby,
It's Bobby.
but he has
And
no
guess who is
idea.
in the house with Bobby?
His wife and his baby.
His wife, Sanj, and the baby. And she over there talking about
Oh,
Bobby.
we forgot to tell them because she had formed a relationship with the wife at one point too, because she was friend. They were just friends before he left his wife.
Yeah, so she even was talking to the wife. Well, when she gets to the house, Bobby and Sanj, the wife, and the baby were all there. And she's like, you know, what's going on? Why are y'all together? Da-da-da. They're looking at her like, who are you? Why are you to our house? You're crazy. So while she's there, Bobby calls her. Bobby
Bobby
calls her.
calls her
But she still in her mind thought it was Sanj in the other room calling.
because the wife went upstairs with the baby, so she thought it was just the wife pretending and calling her. But Bobby's standing literally in front of her, and Bobby's calling her on her phone.
Right. So then she calls her
Her cousin,
cousin,
who dated Bobby's brother.
who dated Bobby's brother, and her cousin was like, let me talk to Bobby. Well, she talks to Bobby. Now mind you, what's her name? Qatar didn't couldn't hear what she was telling Bobby, but apparently she was telling Bobby, "Oh, my cousin's crazy. Don't worry about her." And then when Qatar gets on the phone, she says, "Just leave, just leave."
Yeah, he's tripping. Kirat, her name is Kirat. uh
Correct.
he's tripping, just leave, whatever. And so she leaves.
So she left, and so more of the story is, what's the cousin's name? Some with an S.
Simran.
Say
Simran.
Simran.
Mhm.
Okay. So the cousin Simran comes over and tells her,
It was the cousin all along for
yeah,
the
the
whole
cousin
8 9
confesses.
years. The cousin was catfishing her, not pretending to be Bobby, but not only pretending to be Bobby, pretending to be Sanj, his wife, pretending to be his cousins, his
His
friends,
brother,
brother. She
everybody.
had over 30 Facebook profiles that she was using for this
No,
elaborate
she said 60 something.
60 something, this elaborate scheme to catfish her own cousin. Like
And
she would be there at her cousin's house. They'd be sitting at the table talking, and Kirata is talking to Simran about the issue she's having with Bobby and talking to her, and Simran would be on her phone sending messages to Kirat, who's sitting next to her, but
yeah,
to
she
be
said
Bobby,
she would send it from her Apple
with
Watch.
her Apple Watch.
So and she said every time her and Bobby would like have problems, she would call Simran, and Simran would be like, "Oh, he loves you," just to keep her, you know, in there. The whole time she was Bobby, and she also said they had sexual conversations.
Yeah, and she would. First of all, the cousin is very much, from what I'm understanding, Simran was younger than
Yeah,
Kirat, and I want to say, unless I'm misunderstanding, she was younger and possibly still in like school when this
yeah.
first
She said when
started.
it started, she was a schoolgirl, but 10 years later, girl,
But where were her parents? Like, your child is on Skype. Like, how could she Skype all night with this, with her cousin? It was just weird.
how could she have her own personal life? She ruined her own uh young years because you spend all your time sitting on the phone with your cousin at night instead of out with friends and doing things. This is nuts. The lady is a little crazy to date someone for that long without meeting them. Just saying. Yeah.
She missed a lot of red flags herself. It's no way that I would talk to someone on like a long distance relationship and not see them or talk to them. Like, she would talk to him and he would type
Right.
for a while, and then the doctor said his vocal cords was getting better, and it would be like a little raspy, like, so she couldn't really hear his voice. But not seeing him, no video, nothing. But she was friends with him on Facebook, but it wasn't really his profile. The cousin was taking pictures from his real profile and posting on there, and the cousin befriended her as him
Mm-hmm.
from the jump.
So the cousin set out to do this, which, okay, as a teenager, if you think that's like something funny to do, but to continue it on for that long, at some point you were mature enough to know that this was not right. When your cousin was sending sexual messages back and forth with you, that is weird. Like you need help.
Like, there's, to me, the only thing,
Hey
like,
Mitzi.
the only thing that, it was a really good documentary, and everything, but the only thing is, to me, is that, like, Simran didn't want to be on there. She's like, this is a part of my life, I was young, blah blah blah. But she did write a letter to her cousin, you know talking about, like, apology or whatever. And it's just like, I just need to know what the motive was behind this.
I don't know. Like, did she do it to hurt her cousin, or did she do it because she was secretly in love with her cousin? Did she do it because she envied her cousin as a young girl, wanted to be like her? I don't know. But also going back to what's her name? Why I can't think of her name. I keep wanting to say Qatar, but it's
Right.
Karat.
Kira. Mhm.
Kirat. Um, I can understand why she believed he was real because there was so many extra characters supporting the situation. But at some point, I would have at least thought he's really not that into me because he don't want to really see me in person. And at some point, the story would have just seemed it too fake. Like the whole witness protection and the voice, the vocal cords. Like at some point, that all would have seemed a little too spectacular. What you looking at?
I was just, when I was doing, like, looking into it earlier, because I feel like the Netflix documentary, it just, it leaves me unfulfilled. I don't like it leaves me unfulfilled. Like, I need more information. So, like, when I was doing some research and I saw that there was an interview, I want to say People Magazine, I kind of like took a little bit of notes in a Google Doc, and it said that Simran had wrote a apology letter to Kirat, but she couldn't, like, I don't think she could talk about it in a Netflix documentary because of legal issues or whatever. But she felt like the apology wasn't sincere, and she said that there was something that bothered her, and Simran, like, told her, that she believed we were both in a dark place, and living out this fantasy world brought them some kind of happiness and joy together.
Hmm. What's this dark place?
I don't know. And then they had said, like, I haven't listened to the podcast, but they said like when the podcast, Sweet Bobby, the podcast had first came out, Simran was just living her life like normal. She was engaged, she was traveling, she worked at a firm, like a, I don't know if it was a law firm or a banking firm.
While all of this was going on, or after?
I think it was like to afterwards, like during and after, like after the story broke on the podcast. She was just like, she was even, I did some research on Simran, and she was promoted to a vice president at a well-known British bank. Like she was living her life after she destroyed her cousin's life.
And the cousin is like, she's 44 now, and she doesn't know if she's gonna ever have children because she spent all of her childbearing years talking to a catfish.
And like then after the story broke, she quit her job at the bank for unknown
Oh
reasons.
yeah, her cousin made her quit her job
No,
as Bobby.
Simran had to quit her job.
Oh, but Simran made
Yeah,
Karat quit her
quit
job.
her job because she needed more time to talk to her. She wanted a selfie every morning. She was jealous that excuse me, Bobby was jealous that Kira was talking to men on her radio show. It was kind of like flirty to her or whatever. But yeah, and now Simran, she quit her job. She deleted all her social media profiles, and she has no online presence ever since the podcast came out.
I would say that go see. He hearing something. I would say that she needs to not be online, but also if she was smart, she could capitalize on.
But also the picture that they used as Simran in
It
the
wasn't real.
wasn't real, but the actress who picture they used is being threatened because people thought that was really Simran.
They should have made it more clear. But if you read the end credits, it says that it's not really her.
Crazy.
But yeah, that was a crazy one. Um, it was crazy, and I'm like, man, this is wild. But it kind of broke my heart because I'm like, she wasted a lot of time on this fake person. But
How
like,
many
why did you do that?
how many devices you think Simran was logging in and out of?
Girl,
The
Simran must have had three phones, five
profile?
iPads. That's annoying. I don't want to be logging in and out of different. Because just when I gotta go from Crystal Heart to my personal account, it's annoying.
Mhm.
But now you gotta pretend to be five different people, keep the story straight. I wonder if she kept notes.
She had to keep notes because it was so elaborate. There's no way I can pretend to be 60 different people.
I don't want to do that. That seems not fun.
It just makes me think. It just makes me think that either Simran was jealous of her cousin for some reason, or she was in love with her.
One of the two. At some point, she had to be in a fantasy world because at some point, if you were doing this out of hatred, you would you would get tired of doing it unless you just had that much hate in your heart.
She proposed to her. She wants to know her whereabouts. Spend the whole night. So Simran had no social life either because they would just stay on the phone all night, and then they had like phone relations. I'm trying to stay within,
You know how icky she probably felt when she realized that all of that was with her cousin. Because when the producer asked her um about that, she
intimate.
said she got a little snippy.
Yeah, she didn't want to
She
say
was
because
like, "Do you think that's an appropriate question to ask?" I was like, "Oh, girl, so that means yes."
so if you didn't watch it, still watch it because it's still. I mean, we obviously can't talk about everything. It's really
Yeah,
good.
watch it because it was crazy. Yeah, and I'm sure we're missing a bunch, but all right, Rebecca, you ready to talk about Ray? Did you watch Ray? Because if when we become private detectives, private investigators, we gonna solve Ray murder. Or be when we decide to really be some little internet sleuths. How old was one that got catfish? That's 9 years of she.
She was in her 30s.
Yeah, she was in her 30s. I think when they first started talking, she was like 24, 25. And then because she's 44 now, and she said 10 years has passed since it happened, since it was over. So she must have been like 24 to 34, and then now she's 44. In the beginning, hubby said that it was aliens with Ray.
No,
Hey, look, I'm not opposed to believing it's aliens.
it's not. It hasn't been 10 years. It was
That's what she said.
no, because it was in 2018 when she discovered that it was her cousin.
Oh, well, it sound, I thought she said at the end. I thought she said it's been 10 years, but
Or
maybe
maybe
not.
she
Maybe she
said she
said,
wasted 10 years of her life,
or
maybe.
maybe she said it's been 7 or 8 years. I don't know, girl. I don't know. But she was in her 20s and 30s, her childbearing years.
Okay, so we're moving to Ray. I need to put my
When they said he was writing scripts and lived in LA, I was thinking he got caught by the Illuminati or Diddy. Not Diddy. Diddy threw him down there. Diddy was into all kind of things.
okay. Sorry, I needed to charge.
All right. So who has seen Ray Rivera's episode on Unsolved Mysteries, which is season 1, episode 1? Because we have been trying to solve this case since 2020.
Since 2020, when it came out, July, was it July 2020? I think we've been
Something like that.
obsessed.
No, it was October.
No, it was July.
I thought it came out in October around Halloween. It always comes out. I thought.
Now, but I think the first season came out in July.
Oh, okay. Between Ray Rivera and Alonzo, I've been mystified.
Well, we're gonna try to get Alonzo in too if we
No,
have
my
time,
people gonna be coming home soon.
because I wrote some details about it too.
But then as soon as they said they moved to MA, I saw that it was the friend. Everybody thinks it's the friend.
Everybody think it's a friend.
But it
Okay.
might be aliens, girl. I'm with hubby. It's aliens. Okay. You remember anything about Ray?
Yes. Do you want to talk or you want me to talk?
It don't matter.
Go
You know
ahead.
I get excited. I'll be ready.
You watched it recently, so go ahead.
I watched it last night. I rewatched it last night, y'all, because I had to refresh y'all know my memory bad. So basically, Ray, Ray was really into writing and film, and he was doing that. Him and it, and he was married, very in love. Him and his wife, so in love. Such, it seems like their families clicked, everything clicked. They were just really, really happy. But writing film scripts was not making enough money, and he had a friend who owned a business. Where was the friend living? Rebecca, you just watched it.
Maryland.
Maryland. Was it Maryland?
They moved to Baltimore, I thought.
Okay. So the friend had a firm in Maryland, like a financial firm. What kind of firm was it? Anyway, so he asked Ray to come and write for his firm, to write I think it was a cover for something
Financial
else.
reports or something like that.
He was writing financial reports, which he didn't have experience with, but his friend was very adamant, like, just come on, you could come work for me. You know, they were really like close friends. So him and the wife picked up and went, and they said, we're going for 2 years and we're gonna see financial advising firm. Okay. And so they went, but they loved it. They just built a life there and they stayed there. Well, the wife was on a business trip. One of her colleagues was
There.
staying with them for like a small amount of time. She had to leave though, so she had to leave for her business trip. She was calling her husband, he wasn't answering. So finally, she called the colleague and she was like, "Why is he not answering?" And she was like, the colleague slash friend was like, "Girl, so he got a phone call last night and he just ran up out of here. He never came back." So they was like, "Okay, like why did he run out in a hurry?" And so when she rushed home because she felt like something was wrong, she called all the family. They were looking for him for days. Like I think like over a week they were looking for him before
It was about
they
6 days before they found his car.
they found the car. The car was in a parking lot. And they were like, okay, what's going on? The company did financial tips where they thought stocks were going to go right. And he was writing these reports. So sometimes he was right, sometimes he was wrong. So it
The
was out of character for him to do it. Right. It was so out of character for him to just blaze like that and run out the house.
She said that all she heard was him answer the phone. It was 6 p.m. and he said, "Oh," and then he ran out of the house.
Yeah, like kind of like, oh shit, and just left. I think their friend has something to do with it for sure, says Katie. Um, yeah, so they found his car. Anything special about the car? I can't
It was
remember.
like all I remember is that it was at the Belvedere Hotel.
Yeah, at the Belvedere Hotel. And then for some reason, his friends were on top of, like, they were on the roof of the building and they saw a hole in the top of the Belvedere Hotel. But if you see the hole, it's like nothing that you would notice. Like, so for them to point it out and be like, oh, there's a hole over there, it's like, how
It
did
was
y'all know there was a hole over there? Because it's like, y'all can barely see it. He was also a videographer, still wearing his flops. Yes. So, when they went to investigate the hole on top of the hotel, is when they found his body. And I think he had been in there for 8 or 9 days. And, it just nothing matches up, y'all. Nothing matches up. They found near the hole, they found his phone, or near him. Was it him or the hole? The hole at the bottom, I guess. You're not helping me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading comments. I didn't.
Anyway, they found his phone and nothing. The phone wasn't cracked or broken or nothing to say he fell from somewhere. His flip flops were still there. Like, the wife had the flip flops and she saw some marks on it. Looked like if somebody was dragging him. Anyway, the cops trying to say it was suicide.
His eyeglasses and his phone were found intact on the lower roof near the hole.
Yeah, the wife has the phone and she's like, the screen isn't even cracked. Like, if somebody's falling from this high above, something, your phone not just gonna be okay. So the family seems to think, and I think some cops seem to think, that it was staged, like somebody went up there, went and put these items there. The
No,
hole was so
hold
tiny.
on, wait. Sheila said the hole wasn't on top of the hotel; it was above the parking garage. No, the whole the no, they were standing on. The co-workers went to the top of the parking structure where near where his car was, and they noticed a hole in the roof of the Belvedere Hotel next door.
Yeah, and because they found him kind of like in an area where regular people just can't get to.
Right.
So like he was like saying maintenance or something, like it wasn't, because his brother says that like he tried to just get there. You can't just walk through and get to that area through the right, there's no public access. The hole was on top of the small building that belonged to the hotel, right? And the hole was small, so it was like if somebody would just go straight down into a hole. It wasn't like if somebody fell and blop and the hole would be all big and distorted. It was like just, it was an unused conference room. Right, right, right. The whole situation is just crazy. Doesn't make sense. I
They
think the friend has something to do with it, but I still want to know what all was going on. Something has to be going on.
there was a lot of damage to his body too that wasn't consistent with a fall.
Right.
And so like they were it's undetermined or whatever, but they did kind of they lean towards suicide, which is incredibly crazy considering the
But the
whole.
medical examiner said it's not consistent with a suicide.
And they found, yes,
A
then
weird
moving
text
to the
message.
evidence, they found his that note.
Which the wife says that it was a lot of stuff, that like a lot of the names were names of like movies or like things that she know that he was interested in. So it could have just been, you know.
So one of the note is the weirdest thing, is not the weirdest, obviously his body and stuff is weird too, but the note was one of the things that a lot of people are super obsessed with and try to like decode it and stuff. And one of the, it referenced movies, and one of the movies is The Game. And there's a scene in this movie, I don't know if it's at the end, I can't even think of the main character's name, but they jump off the roof of a fancy hotel and go through a glass roof.
Oh,
Yeah. And then it's like the company arrange that, like to make you lose stuff so you can gain it back again and then appreciate what you lost. I don't know, I can't, yeah, it's called The Game. And it's like that. And it was, people were kind of like, it's similar because it was a hotel and it was the roof and stuff, but um
I don't know. Like I feel like it could have been a brain dump.
could,
Like,
but I mean, it's a coincidence.
yeah, but how many movies have you seen where they go through a glass roof? Like I've seen a million of them
I don't know. I don't know.
with
Probably.
Michael Douglas.
But on one of the things on the note, he wrote The Game is up. He names some friends and he calls them players. And then he writes Porter Stansberry, that's the friend that we've all talked about. And
So
how
maybe he was up to something. And how
and
did the friend not know why he was there or what they were working on? Maybe drug deal or secret tips for trading source, etc. The friend or wife would have a hint of something shady.
I don't know about the wife, because the wife is one who's just like, she was like, the cop, the police and everything talking about suicide and not, but she was like, who answers the phone, and it's like, oh, and like rushes out. That was one of the first things she said on there, was like rushes out, like, oh, I have to go jump off of this big building now, like.
Yeah. And immediately after the body was found, the company lawyered up and issued a gag order for all employees. Right, Rebecca? Like
And
that was sus because that's your friend and he won't even talk to the cops.
he won't, and the call came from the switchboard of the company.
Yep. The friend wouldn't even talk to the cops. Right. That's sketchy because I mean, even if you know there's some shady stuff with your business or whatnot, you're gonna at least cooperate for your friend if you have nothing to do with it. But mm-mm, he's
what
shady.
One thing, when I was looking at some stuff online, like they were showing like the stuff, like, like the body composition, and they were showing like where the injuries were, and they said like his shins,
That's
um
what Rebecca was saying.
and
His
like,
legs.
it's not consistent with a fall, but like some people were talking that he might have got rammed with a car and it hit him like on the shins. It still doesn't explain the trajectory of how he ended up where he ended up, because of the
Hmm.
way the hole is. The whole case doesn't make sense because of where he ended up and how the hole is.
Uh, do you believe that he came through the hole?
No,
Okay, I don't either. Hubby said that the friend set him up from the beginning. Like you're saying, the friend asked him to go work for him as a whole setup. Is that what hubby's saying? Maybe he found something out and they threw him off the roof. I don't think he went through that hole at all.
he went through the hole at
Because
all.
the hole was not consistent with somebody going through it. Like the hole was too small.
And it was too vertical, like it was just it.
Somebody would have to fall like that.
Like from a helicopter, from the air, they would have had to fall like that.
Yes. Like if you're jumping off of something, you're not gonna fall.
Say, let go. Jump along.
I don't know. I wish I know you already cut that shirt. I know that people have to know stuff. They're probably scared to talk. The hole is weird. No one that fall falls like that, intentional or right. Like it's just to me impossible.
And then the CCTV wasn't working. And I know it was because he was missing for so many days and it gets deleted after a week or so. But it's just like no one saw anything with all those windows facing it. No one saw anything.
No. And then I think that the friends, they needed them to find his body and think it was suicide. So they had to see the hole.
He was big guy. He was like 6'5", over 200 pounds. There's no way that he made that hole.
Right. Someone made the hole to try and make it look right. Exactly, Rebecca. That's what I feel. And I feel like the friends who saw the hole, they had to they wanted them to go and see the hole.
He was 6'5". If he did get hit by a car, it would be at his shins. He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Someone made the hole, and then like, and I also think that they tossed
His stuff.
his phone and his glasses there too, just to be like,
Yeah. Oh, that's his stuff. Cause I'm still like, okay, if okay, you go missing and we find your car downtown in a parking garage somewhere, and we're just all even if it's at the top, and we're all standing there and like, where would happen? I'm not gonna see something on a roof and just automatically think, oh look, she must look at that hole on that roof. It must have something to do with this.
yeah.
Like I'm just be
I
like,
just
I
think
wouldn't even
that,
see the hole, but
yeah, that's what I said. The phone was from the switchboard from the company. They don't know who because it came through the switchboard, but yeah. And then like there are some rumors. You can't get it from. I mean, if whatever you can't be substantiated or anything, but there were rumors from the locals who said that when they claim to have seen a video of Ray walking into the Belvedere Hotel that was being shown to some people, but then after a few days of the case, they were like, that video doesn't exist. They don't know what they're talking about. They've never had a video of him, but there were people who said that they saw the video. And then there also was some witnesses who saw that kind of knew him from the old bar that saw him that night going to the bar upstairs. And they were like, you can't miss Ray. He's a giant. And then there's also some people that did say that lived there that they heard a loud crash at 10 p.m. Like it shook their windows. But like they didn't really go into it or talk about it.
hmm. I wonder if he knew of the fraud and refused to go along with it. It's possible. Or maybe he threatened to go to the authorities. Yeah, part of Ray's job was cleaning up the company's image, right? And jinx to you too, Katie. We were saying the same thing. There was fraud before he went. I
So the savage.
what they did to Ray. I need for all of it to come out. Maybe he had been contacted by the authorities. Maybe so. You're right. Maybe he was contacted. And then, I mean, and they're dealing in finances and financial stuff. They know a lot of people and a lot of people with money. So when money is involved, you never know.
Sick.
What are y'all doing?
He's trying to steal it.
Let him have it.
We're playing cowboy though.
I just think that it does seem like he was a good guy. I just think that they put it together. Oh, look, he's in this room. There's a hole in the ceiling. He must have came through, even though scientifically proves that there's no way he could have come through that hole. I don't think the hole has anything to do with him. Yeah, it was something like 2006.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still mystified by Ray. I do of course think the friend had something to do with it, but I would like to know why. what all happened, how he got in that conference room. Because I don't think the whole he went through that whole. So they got more fraud charges after his death. Did they? What are y'all doing? I don't know. Ray is.
Let's also talk about there was an alarm triggered at his house the day
Yeah,
before and the day he disappeared, like at 1 a.m. That's creepy.
yeah, yeah. The cops tried to say it was just a squirrel.
We still don't know who called him. That we've talked about it, but that was literally the beginning of the chain of events that led to his death. Like it started with the call.
Or
It
it started with the alarm going off because we don't know what that had
was
to
an
do.
alarm, you're right.
And the alarm going off might have just been like someone trying to threaten him or something. Go answer granddad in the room. Tell him I'm on the live.
None of the Belvedere video camera recordings. I don't know. And then the video the cameras on the roof were disconnected or not working on the 16th.
And if he did go through that hole, I feel like I don't think he went through the hole, but I feel like they would have made the hole and then slip him through the hole. But then he had to go down. That didn't happen.
And then they did an engineering case, like a study of it to prove it. And based on the distance, he would have to have run like 11 miles per hour or something like that in his
Yeah, in flip flops.
to reach where his body was found.
Yeah, that's just totally impossible. Or they didn't expect an alarm to go off. Right? They may have just never expected the alarm to go off, and they were going in there.
And that
Maybe it was already an attempt, and it didn't work out. So then they had to get him out of the house. It's just it's this crazy situation. Do you want to talk about Alonzo before we get off?
I think we got time. Some people think that, like on Reddit, some people do think it was a professional date because there was some like rumors that the Russian mafia actually not owned but did a lot of business in the Belvedere Hotel around that time.
Brand, I said he was just checking.
Oh, okay.
Saying hi.
Okay. I think they said that they were found guilty and fined before Ray even moved out there. Oh, the company. I kind of think it had to be a professional. I don't know. And like I said, with all that money dealings, anybody could have hired somebody.
And oh, don't forget that the first lead detective, felt that someone had staged the scene on the roof. And he believed that the hole was too small for Ray to fall through from the height. And then he was taken off the case. The first
It probably goes so deep. It probably goes so deep. Cause think about it. If you're doing some financial dealings with people, other people with money, and you're all dirty, everybody dirty, and then the one person that don't want to be dirty, you gotta get rid of him.
and the detective told his wife to be careful because she said she was gonna continue investigating. He told her to be careful.
Right.
And I don't even remember if this was on the show, but I remember reading it. Sometime after his body was discovered, someone kept calling the police station anonymously to get his laptop. They were like, when is his laptop going to be released? When is his laptop going to be released?
Okay, I didn't see it on the show. I don't think,
I'm
and
gonna
he
put-
was the only one left in the homicide department that didn't think it was a suicide.
and they knew.
Right. Because you gotta also think, is this the one? Put it in the trash, boogie. Because you gotta also think like, who do they have in their pocket, like already? Like, Kamani, put it in.
Then I must have read it.
They didn't say. Yeah, I didn't see the laptop either. But like, you gotta think about do they have judges in their pocket? Do they have in their pocket? Like, who do they have? who they paying off. Oh my gosh. Let me track Joseph and Cameron to see.
In your grounded safe.
The SEC case has to do with information regarding dismantling Russian nuclear weapons. I think they had some people in their pocket. Yeah, yeah. I think so too. Have I been freezing?
Not lately.
Mm. Look, Daddy and Sissy floating on by
Where are they?
on their way. Let me see how far they are.
Oh. Oh my god, I just realized that you and Keisha are wearing a both wearing green.
You're late to the party, girl.
What do you mean?
We already know that.
Well, I just realized, so
Did anybody watch episode 4, Alonzo Brooks, the same season as Ray?
Let's make that next week homework.
why homework?
I think
Why?
that
Oh.
Ray came from a military family. Sheila, you watched it? Because I don't think I have but like 5 minutes before Joseph and Cameron march in here with all the noise.
I trapped Satan there
Well, untrap him.
because he was grounded. I'm sorry, man.
Either way, though, Ray, when we first watched this, we were like, no, we have to do more research on Ray because the case just doesn't make sense. And I also did more research, and I found that the friend Porter, it seems like he didn't go to Ray's memorial service either. Supposed to be his friend. And
Sound guilty to me because if y'all that close.
And I heard that Ray was scared of heights.
Yeah, the wife said that. They both were scared of heights.
They were scared of heights. His mom had said that too.
And just, I mean, hey, y'all stop. The fact that, like the wife said, nobody's running in a rush to go commit suicide. Like, you're not late for suicide. Hey, come on. That's enough. He's Ernest, the friend Daddy knows it did. Yeah, he definitely knows something. He's either directly involved or he knows something and he's scared to talk.
Also, his brother did a radio interview and said that Stansberry and Associates, the company, they sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix.
Mm.
But Unsolved Mysteries did a lot of fact checking and running everything through lawyers, and they had their success.
But that made me just think, what if the friend didn't do anything? What if the friend is afraid for his own life because he knows who
That's
did
possible too. Because the company has been tied to some strange things.
Maybe they was doing some funny business. They were threatened. Ray became an example, and Porter's now terrified and is gonna don't want to talk to nobody. Don't want to even. I don't know.
Somebody, I can't even remember who it was, like said that the company had ties to Nicaragua, and there was speculations that there was issues there with Ray's murder. Speculation, allegedly. And then there was a man named Tom, I can't remember his last name, but he worked with the company and he went visit his daughter in Africa. I can't remember what country. And he died in a car crash. And Ray knew him, and Ray thought that the crash was suspicious. So
Those witness protection houses look crappy. I don't blame him if he's scared for his life.
So I think Porter is worth like $1 million or something now.
$1 million ain't what it used to be.
The morning, what I got, I'll take it.
I'll take it too.
And even though it was kind of like, oh yeah, the police alarm was like it's a suicide, it's still an actively open homicide case, like investigation. It's not just like closed, and it's still like an open homicide investigation. So I don't know if it was always labeled a homicide or just like recently. Unsolved mysteries just bring a lot of eyes on cold cases sometimes.
Yeah. Well, the medical examiner from the jump put undetermined.
Why you wipe my?
All right, let's discuss our lineup for next week.
Let me get my notebook. I
What
think
is it?
so too, Rebecca. Yeah.
I think the examiner's report made it a homicide.
All right.
Okay.
So next week we'll do Alonzo Brooks, who was
Episode.
episode 4 of the same of season 1 of Unsolved Mysteries.
That's another one. That's another one.
No,
That's like
we don't do that here. We don't steal.
too many people know what happened and nobody's talking. I feel, but I gotta go rewatch it to freshen up.
I remember it like really. I remember it a lot. And then there's a documentary on Netflix about the Zodiac killer.
Did I see that one already, or is it a new doc?
I think it's new.
Wait, what? I'm
I
gonna have to go see.
Zodiac or something like that. They've never caught the Zodiac killer. No one ever really knew who he was. So that's interesting to me. So
Okay, what's the name of the doc?
I am Zodiac or something like
I
that.
think I did watch that, but I'm gonna watch it again because I gotta watch it intentionally for
Yeah,
this.
sometimes you just have stuff like running, like playing, and you're not like really, really watching it.
And I watch so many documentaries.
And then does
But who
anyone
did we have on our list that we didn't talk about that we
we
said we
didn't
were
get to the Delphi murders in the Cecil Hotel.
that we could do that anytime. Yeah, great. Give me homework to do tonight while laying in bed. Got my IED replaced 100%. Do not recommend. Oh yeah, I've done that. Ugh.
So
Yeah, just lay down. Um. Okay, next week, Alonzo, episode 4. Y'all remember of season 1 of Unsolved Mysteries. What else we said? Alonzo, Zodiac.
I'm trying to find the name of it because I saw it.
There is one called I Am Zodiac, I think, because I think I seen that one.
They have This Is the Zodiac Speaking, but there's another one that I just saw.
Sam's really want this.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh, I guess it is. This is the Zodiac Speaking. I guess that's it. This is the Zodiac Speaking.
I don't know why I Am Zodiac seems so familiar.
I don't know. I thought that's what I.
Stop, y'all too.
Okay,
Got my
so
heart stress test today. I'm traveling this next week. Oh, I hope your stress test came out all right.
Jesus
let's
Christ,
hear
he
what's
really wants this sword.
yeah, the Zodiac is interesting because it's just like crazy that he's never been caught ever. Who else can we talk about?
Oh, I'll never take you his sword over again.
Am I frozen? Because Celine is frozen for me.
I'm not frozen.
I mean, I'm sure it's my internet, but you were just all the way frozen. I couldn't hear nothing.
Oh, I was saying, who else can we talk about?
Uh, let's do Cecil.
Let's do what?
Cecil.
It's the hotel.
Did the Cecil Hotel was that on the Unsolved Mysteries?
It was Netflix.
Okay, I think that was the. There was a whole documentary on Cecil,
Hmm.
but I've seen like two different things on it, two or three things. Did you all talk about that normal guy that killed all those S workers in New Jersey or something like that, and it was like a normal dude? That
Are you talking about what is it?
um
I should talk about Jeffrey Dahmer.
no girl,
Why?
because we're not talking about that's not what she said.
I'm just saying that y'all should talk about
The
it.
Gilgo Beach a killer? Is that what we're talking about?
Uh, Gilgo Beach doc series will shed light on case and from U.S. one.
We're talking about the Gilgo. Yeah, him. No, we haven't talked about him. The crazy thing is, I remember before I even like really heard about him, I watched it on I watched a dramatized TV show on it, and then it made me become interested in the case. And then, like a couple years after that, they charged him and everything.
Steve's trying to smell my water, but he doesn't know that water doesn't have that
The
smell.
Long Island Killer.
Yeah, he was known as the Gilgo Beach serial killer, the Long Island killer, the Craigslist Ripper. And like he had a whole bunch of different names that they didn't put together, I think.
Of course, son got his car started, and then he broke down again. He's been on his feet in the kitchen all day, and it was an oyster special. So he said, "Oh,
They found though they if they found another one because they have found male bodies before, Mitzi,
huh."
and he was like,
I got my costume.
Cornell. I mean Kobe, come here. We put him on the list. We might not get to everyone.
He should just leave his car and catch a Uber home for now, and deal with it in the daylight."
You can't have my water. You want something? You want me to put some in your bowl?
Yes, I was following this case. That can be one on the list for the future. For sure.
No, sure.
We need a non-murder case for next week to go along with it. Like this week, we had
Kobe,
Sweet Bobby.
a non-murder case. I don't know.
Um,
I'm trying to think.
I
I
got,
don't know.
excuse me,
Did
what?
you remember the Tindler Swindler? Do you remember that?
The Tindler Swindler. Yes. You can't just leave it on the side of the highway insurance that's towing. Oh.
Why am I here?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I have some stuff written down, but I am not feeling well, and I'm gonna go get some sleep.
Girl, I'm right here like yawning and everything else.
I can't relate.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all coming hang out with us again this week. And y'all come back next Wednesday. Same time, same place. And if you're watching on Mystery Mugs and Melanin, y'all don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, thumbs up. And if you're watching on this channel, Crystal Heart, the Mystery Mugs and Melanin um, link is in the description box. Go subscribe to that channel as well.
Subscribe to that
And
channel because eventually we're gonna move this
Just say that straight.
live
yeah,
to that.
eventually this whole situation will be moved to that channel. We just need to get it going.
Yeah.
Uh, y'all come back now. You hear? But we appreciate y'all coming. We have fun. Even though this is some heavy topics, but we try to do it in a lighthearted way and get y'all opinions on things. But anything else you need to say?
Oh, you know what? I would like to. Never mind.
Just text me after.
I was trying to think of a non-murder case to go along with it, but I can't. I don't think I'm thinking of a real case.
Okay, okay.
I think I'm thinking of on TV.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. See y'all. See y'all Friday for Friday Night Live at 7 p.m. Central.
Bye.
Bye.